Hey guys, thanks for tuning into Chef Girl RD. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a bacon wrapped stuffed pork tenderloin, and we're going to be making this right in the Ninja grill. Alright, so to get started, I have a dry rubbed pork tenderloin here. This is pre-seasoned right in the package, and it's not even a really big one. It's just a little over a pound. So I'm just going to open that up. And next thing I'm going to do is turn it sideways, and I am just going to butterfly cut it right down the middle. Best that I can. And I'm just going to open that up now. Okay, and you want to just make sure you don't go all the way through to the end. And now we're just going to get some saran wrap. All right, so I just covered that up with a piece of saran wrap, and I'm just going to take my meat tenderizer, and we're just going to pound this out till it's nice and flat all the way across. Basically just want to get the same thickness across the entire piece of meat. All right, so that's all set. It's by no means anything pretty, but it's, as you can see, bigger than it was before we pounded it out. So I'm just gonna leave this covered for a minute, and we're gonna go over to our veggies. And I'm gonna be using an 8-ounce package of some white mushrooms sliced. I just cleaned them up really good, and I chopped 1 yellow onion. And we're gonna turn the Foodi on to a sear saute high and start. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon or so of some olive oil. And I'm going to toss in my mushrooms. And we'll just let these saute for a good 5 minutes. And you can stir occasionally. Alright, so these are moving right along, so now I'm just going to add in my onions. Alright, that's looking really good. And then this part's optional, but I'm going to add 2 cloves of minced garlic. And then I'm going to saute that just another minute, and then we're going to shut this off. All right, so I just took that out, and we're going to put this right in a bowl. All right, so coming over to our pork tenderloin, I'm going to take the wrap off now and just kind of spread it all out. And these kind of came to a little bit of a point, so I just trimmed the ends. I mean, it was very little. You don't have to do that. Now I'm just going to take my mushroom and onion mixture, throw that right in the middle. Start with that. And you're just going to spread it out. You don't want to go all the way to the edge because it's going to fall out if you do that. You want to be able to roll it with ease without having everything fall out. So you just want to do the best you can. Fill in those spots. All right, so once I spread it all out, I kind of just tried to flatten it out. We'll probably lose some here or there, but just do the best you can. Next, I'm going to take some shredded mozzarella cheese, and I'm just going to go over the top. Almost like we're making a pizza. And this is as much or as little as you want, or you don't have to use cheese at all. All right, so now for the fun part, you're just gonna grab one end and we're gonna roll. You wanna try to stretch it as you do it. All right, so with the seam on the bottom, I'm holding it actually right now with my hands. I'm gonna pick it up. All right, we lost a little bit, but that's right. And I'm gonna set it right on top of my bacon lattice, just like that. And I went diagonal to the square, and I'll show you why. All right, so I'm just gonna tighten this up a little. I'm gonna push on this end in. Same thing with this side. Just to make it a little more compact. And we're gonna take this bacon lattice and I'm gonna pick it up and we're gonna roll it right over there. Similar to like an egg roll, we're gonna roll it. And it's not gonna be perfect, but we're gonna do what we can. Now we're gonna keep rolling. And just like that. All right. Now for this next part, you can either use toothpicks or you can use some butcher's twine, or you can use both. So I'm just gonna take this, it's about a 2-foot piece, and I'm gonna slide it right underneath. I'm gonna try to slide it underneath. All right, and I'm just gonna kind of measure and cut. All right, do the other side. And the middle, tricky part. I'm gonna try to feel around for it. Probably a better way to do this, but you can let me know in the comments. All right, so there's that last piece. And now we're just gonna tie this in a little knot here. So I'll tell you about how I got this twine. I didn't have any at first. And I ran to the supermarket near my house and I asked someone that worked there if they sold it, and they didn't. But they grabbed a manager for a second opinion and he says, you know what, we don't have any, but let me go run to where we cut meat and I'll give you a piece for nothing. And I was like, oh, great, thank you. So if you don't have any, maybe you'll get as lucky as I did, and they'll just give it to you. All right. All right. So that's just trying to hold it together a little bit. Again, you can use toothpicks, whatever you want. I'm going to turn this so you can see the other side. All right. Looks pretty good. And I'm gonna leave it on the foil. And right now I'm gonna show you a quick little video on how I did the bacon lattice. But first, let's heat up our Ninja. So we're gonna do a roast on 375. We're just gonna set the time to 40 minutes. I'm not sure that we're gonna use all that time. We're gonna still take a temp, but we're just gonna hit start and get that preheat going. All right, guys, what'd you think of that video? Pretty cool, right? You can do that. All right, so we're gonna take this beautiful pork tenderloin, and I'm gonna keep the foil. I'm gonna condense the sides. I'm gonna roll this one up, and I'm gonna roll this one up, and I'm gonna crunch the corners. All right, and then I'm gonna close this up. Now we're gonna pick it up from underneath. Come over to the Ninja grill, open that up. I'm gonna take my pork tenderloin and I'm trying to drop it in, and I'm gonna go diagonal. Ooh, literally dropped it in, so I didn't want to burn my hands. All right, so now I'm gonna close that back up. I'm not gonna leave the foil closed the whole time, but for now I'm gonna do it because I don't want the bacon to burn while it's cooking. So now we're just gonna shut this, and we're gonna let that go. I'm gonna let it go about 5 to 7 minutes, and then I'm gonna actually add some potatoes, and then I'll leave it alone for a bit. All right, I'm gonna stop here. Almost forgot to add my taters. So all I did was seasoned up some little potatoes. I cut them up, and I'm just gonna pour some on each side. Just like that. And hope for the best. Should be fine. All right, now I'll close that up. All right, we got 16 minutes left, so I'm gonna toss my potatoes over here. Now I'm gonna open up my foil here. Just want to be careful because of the steam. This is pretty hot, obviously. And I'll just fold it in. And you guys can do this without the foil if you want, but your bacon's gonna cook really fast. And I was just afraid of the bacon overcooking before the actual pork tenderloin cooked. So I just figured to play it safe, I would do it just like this. So I'm just gonna tighten this up a little so I can close the lid. All right. And now I'm gonna shut the lid and keep going. All right, so I'm gonna open this. I have 7 minutes left, and I'll let you take a look right now. Doesn't that look good? All right, but I have some asparagus here that I would like to now cook with this. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna actually mix my potatoes one more time, a little bit. And I'm gonna fold this foil over the potatoes now because they're pretty much done, so it's not gonna affect anything. All right, and squish some of this down. That looks so good. It smells amazing. I wish you guys could smell it. All right, I'm not gonna get too crazy, but I'm just gonna toss these on the side here. Oop. And these are just salt, peppered with some olive oil. Nothing crazy. But typically asparagus takes about 7 or 8 minutes to cook. So I stopped it at 7 minutes. And hopefully this all comes out perfect. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna shut that and let that keep cooking. see what we got. Oh, oh my gosh. Look at that. That looks amazing. All right, so I'm gonna take a temp. It's a little tricky when you stuff and roll something, because getting a true temp, you gotta stick it right in the perfect spot to get a good temp. But let's see what we get. So we want 145. All right, that looks like we're good. So I'm gonna take that out. So now I'm gonna let this sit for a good 5 minutes. All right, guys, so I actually went to flip that out of the foil, and I noticed that the underside did not cook the way that I had hoped. So it's just the underside. So I'm just gonna air fry this for about probably less than 10 minutes, and we'll see how that comes out. All right, 4 minutes left. Oh, look at that. All right, so that's perfect. That was only 6 minutes, so not too bad. So this worked out. All right, so now I'm just gonna let it sit. I'm gonna let it cool a minute or two, and then I'll put that on my platter. So that worked out perfect. All right, guys, here it is. Looks amazing. Everything actually came out really good. So I'm just going to cut right through the middle and see how this looks. Give you a peek on the inside. Oh, that looks really, really good. All right, I'm just gonna take a piece from here to taste. All right, get some bacon, got some mushroom in there, some onion. Now let's see what it tastes like. Yeah, that's really, really good, guys. Look at all that stuff in there. This came out amazing. I'm so glad. And I think you're gonna like it too. So guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click that like button and be sure to subscribe so you can see more videos like this. Bon appetit, guys.